Hi, I'm Nicola Mackenzie at Dun & McCarthy Mortgages, and today's video will be explaining to you what the difference is between a valuation and a survey. If you're about to buy property, it's really important that you understand the differences between the two, and in this video I'll explain that to you, so stay tuned. So here at Dun & McCarthy, we're a team of mortgage advisors, and we can give you advice on mortgages, life insurance, critical illness cover and income protection. So if you need advice in any of those areas, head over to the website, which is dm.mortgage, and book an appointment today, or you can give us a call or drop us an email with the contact details below. Make sure as well, if you're new to the channel, that you subscribe so that you don't miss any future mortgage, property or finance related videos. But I'm going to start off by just explaining first of all what is a valuation, and then we'll move on and talk about what is a survey and look at the differences between the two. So a valuation, if you're about to buy a property, is mandatory if you're buying that property using a mortgage. And what a valuation would do is purely check that the house you're buying is worth the price that you are paying. So it's worth noting that if you're buying the property using a mortgage, the reason why a bank makes it mandatory for you to have a valuation is because it's really for the benefit of the lender. If they're about to lend you hundreds of thousands of pounds, they need to be confident that that house is worth what you've agreed to pay. And therefore, with a valuation, the detail and the scope of the information that it provides is very limited, because it's purely to make sure, like I mentioned, that the security is viable to back up the loan amount that you have requested. So the bank wants confidence that if something was to happen to the building, or if you were to default on your payments, that they would still be able to recoup most of the costs. Now, what a valuation does do, whilst it doesn't give you a massive amount of detail, actually if any detail in relation to the condition of the property, but it will tell you if you are paying over the odds for a property. Because if you've agreed to pay £180,000 for a house, but actually the bank thinks it's only worth £150,000, then they will report that back to you. So it is useful in that respect, but like I said, it is limited. Now, there are a few different types of valuation that a bank might carry out. They might do what's called a desktop valuation, which is basically relying on photographic evidence and computerized information to determine the value of the property. They might do what's called a drive-by valuation, which is where a surveyor would go out, drive by the property to check the condition, but only from the outside. Or they'll commonly, certainly if you're purchasing a property, do what's called a physical inspection. So that's when somebody will actually go into the property, have a look around it and look at the condition in a bit more detail. But it's important to note that even if they're doing a physical valuation, so they're going in and inspecting the property, quite often the findings from that inspection will be jotted down, a few notes on a single sheet of paper, and in most instances you will not see a copy of that information. So again, it is very limited. Usually a drive-by valuation or desktop would be done in cases where you are refinancing on a property that you already own. And if you're purchasing a new property, usually that will be done with a physical inspection. So now we understand what a valuation is, we need to look at what a survey is. Now, I would explain a survey as being sort of like a health check for buildings. So it's a process where a surveyor will go out to the property that you're about to purchase, and they will inspect the property in great detail. The surveyor will then highlight any major repairs or anything that needs changing, and depending on the level of survey that you opt for will depend on the level of detail that the surveyor will go into, and they will usually provide you with a report of their findings so that you're aware of what you need to do moving forwards, or even if you still wish to purchase that property, depending on what the report picks up. Now, if you are unsure on the different types of survey options that you can opt for, I have got a video on the channel that's titled "What Type of House Survey Do I Need?" So check that out. Now, do you even need a survey? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, a valuation, if you're buying the property using a mortgage, that is mandatory. The bank will insist that you do a valuation. They will not insist that you have a survey. A survey is purely to give you peace of mind on the purchase that you are about to make. So it's entirely up to you as to whether or not you feel that you need that added peace of mind. So I hope that's given you some clarity on the differences between a valuation and a survey. Now, of course, I mentioned that we are a team of advisors here that can give you advice in relation to mortgages, life insurance, critical illness, and income protection. So make sure that you head over to the website, which is dm.mortgage, and book an appointment today if you want some advice, or you can drop an email or give us a call on the numbers below. But that's it for today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.